Welcome back everybody, it's Friday and yes, it's echoing in here like crazy because my toolbox is missing, which was over there, because I've got my own room. Woohoo! No more being in here, being right where the kitchen is, being distracted on a regular basis. So I'm going to show you my new room. Here it is. Now it's not complete, but that's okay. The main point is I've got my own room. Yes, I'm going to probably spend the next couple of days sorting it out. Plus my husband is helping me out as well. Because this room actually has two windows. One over there where my beautiful Major Mitchell Rocky is, who you will be hearing chit-chatting away in the background of every single video from now on, because he's very talkative. And then there was another window over on this side. Now, this window here is covered by the patio, so there's a lot of cold air coming from that area, and it's also created issues when it comes to trying to organise this room. So as a quick fix, he's blocking this window off, putting insulation in there to try and keep some warmth in this room. And what we'll also be able to do is put some shelving up over here, and it won't matter because the window is not going to be seen, so it's going to make life a lot easier. So yes, I still have things in here that shouldn't be in here, like the filing cabinet, set of drawers that's got all sorts of things in it. This room used to be our storage room where we kept all the bits and pieces for all the house renovations that we are doing. So, and what my husband's done is temporarily just put some quick shelving up with some off-cut wood, so that I had somewhere to put a lot of my things in order to somehow organise it a little bit better. Now, the one good thing is I've got a great big table here now that I can utilise. I've got my tripod sitting there ready to go when I start doing videos in here. This table will now help with a lot of things, not just me being creative, but currently it's tax time. I need to do my taxes. Well, originally I couldn't because I couldn't get organised, because my computer was sitting up the top here and I had all other paper, books and whatnot sitting on top, so there was no room whatsoever. So now I've got my computer set up on a little table and my printer sitting over there in the corner. So now I can use this table to sort out my paperwork and then go straight over to the computer, enter it all in, job done. Yay! So I've actually rearranged all my drawers in my toolbox, because I was getting very cluttered. Excuse me. In this one, I just have sewing stuff in it, this one here, I've got my scissors, my knives, some glue, tape, just bits and pieces. This one is actually still empty. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in this one yet, so as I say, I still need to sort things out properly. Here I've got all my ribbons and stuff. Then this one here has got my charcoal pencils and my normal lead pencils and stuff. And yeah, other bits and pieces. And this one here has got my jewellery making stuff in it, as well as other little bits and pieces like my diamond crystals, my heart flatback rosin rhinestones, and my diamond painting gems, which I might actually use in the next video, because I've come up with an idea and I'm going to see if it'll work. It should do. And this one here has got all my watercolour paper and acrylic paper in it. Then this one here has got my acrylic paints all neatly set up and my spare watercolour paints. Then this one here has got all my cardstock stuff in it. Everything to do with cards. Really? Oh boy. This one is growing by the minute. So this really needs to be still sorted. I've got to find another way of trying to keep some sort of neatness. And hopefully with some more shelving going up, it might help. And then this one, currently I'm not using, so it's got all the things that I don't really use in here. But I also have like old tissue boxes, empty tissue boxes, and you know, my empty tea boxes, because I'm going to recycle them. So I'll be doing a video on that soon too. And over here I've got my hot glue gun, battery charger, you know, bits and pieces in here. Again, needs probably sorting out more. This one here's just got other bits and pieces in it. Like the table that I'm still working on, which I still can't do because it's still too cold. This is to do the for the legs on the table, so I've got that all in here. I know where it is. This one has got all my painting brushes in it. Nice, neat, tidy. And then here I've got, you know, my heat gun and soldering iron and other bits and pieces, which I might start getting into again. And here's all my oil paints in this drawer. So pretty much sorted out, but can be done better. But with the room that I've got at the moment where I can put things, I'm a little bit limited, so there'll still be some shoveling around happening. And on this shelf here, I decided to put my makeup case, because I'll actually be using the eyeshadows for projects, because I don't really use them. My pastels are out, my watercolour pencils are out, my gel pens, my graphic markers, and just some normal colouring in textures. I've got all my glues and stuff all sitting up there, and my watercolour brushes as well as acrylic brushes all sitting up there, all sorted, as neat as possible. I've got my rosin stuff over here with the pigments, and I even got some pretty glitter sitting up here, which I had used on our office desk, because we're doing our office up as well, hence why the computer's in here at the moment. And then just up the top there I just kept the the copy paper for the printer because I didn't really have anywhere else to put it. A3 one is a little bit tricky to put up there because the shelf's so narrow, but it'll do. So yeah, and then up here I just have my books and my salt lamp. These shelves will probably change at a later date. The other thing that I want to mention is that eventually, we're not sure when, we're actually going to put a built-in wardrobe over here. So everything will be moved around again. But that won't happen till after we finish the office, because then I'll have the computer out of here, which basically means that the toolbox can then be moved over here. Okay, but the idea behind this is, should we ever decide to sell the house, then this will be a perfect bedroom for a teenager, for instance, because we're going to put, basically there's going to be a wardrobe from one end to the other, kind of. Basically you're going to have a whole heap of shelving on this side, then you're going to have your wardrobe hanging space, and then you're going to have all shelving again, and up the top you're going to have all cupboards along the top. But then in this section here, we're actually going to put like a little study desk, which will have special features along the wall as well, because there's going to be some spaces that, you know, aren't going to be very useful because, well, I wouldn't say not useful, it's just you can't put your chair in there because you've got the wardrobe there. So we're going to create like shelving and stuff for, you know, all this bits and pieces, like, you know, my shelving just here at the moment. You know, I've got all my colouring stuff, so that's sort of what we're thinking about. You know, you can put books, whatever, but it's going to have a little study desk there, and then probably some shelving going all the way across up the top as well to put all sorts of stuff. Hence closing off this window, because this window has just been stopping us from finding a way around things, because it made it really, really difficult to try and organise this room as a nice bedroom. And as I say, there's so much cold coming from that side, it kind of made sense to close it up, insulate it, that way it keeps the room a little bit warmer. And we're also going to be moving this, we're going to get an electrician out to move the switch for the fan, and we're going to get him to move the fan and change the lights. I'm not going to aim the camera at the lights because these are actually quite bright, but just to improve the room. And this room will end up being awesome for, you know, a teenager or an older child that's not quite a teen yet, you know, because school age kids, let's put it that way, school age kids. So, but yeah, so this is how far we've gotten. Yes, I didn't get to do any art and craft because of it, but you know what? I don't mind, because I can concentrate on what I want to do. Now, before we actually were doing this, the day before, I started doing this in watercolour. Haven't finished it or anything like that, so if you want me to do a video on this, on how I designed it and stuff, or how I'm putting it together, let me know in the comments below, okay, because I don't mind doing a video on it, and I'll even create a template for it that you can get hold of if you need to. Now, the other thing I did yesterday is I actually finally got my little half pans for my watercolours. So my mother-in-law, who does have dementia, I was trying to help her out because with the tubes, she hasn't got the strength anymore to squeeze a little bit of paint out, and that's why she got these half pans. And because they were already drying out, I ended up making myself a little palette out of it because I didn't want to waste all the watercolour paint in that tube. Very messy job, but that's okay. And I actually made her a little swatch so that she can see what the colours will look like once it's on paper. And the way I've done it is the amount of colours that are along there resembles the amount of colours along there. So I've tried to make it as easy as possible for her. Whether she's actually going to use them, I don't know. There's a lot of times where she will say, you know, oh, she hasn't got anything to do because she hasn't got anything floating around. Well, she does. She just can't remember where she's put things. So it does make life a little bit difficult, and it's actually one of the reasons why I really needed my own room, because every time I was doing a video, she would come in to where I was and start talking to me, you know, because she wouldn't register that I'm doing a video. So doing the videos was becoming very difficult. So now I can lock myself in this room and be left alone. And we're actually sort of thinking about maybe putting a lock on the door so that I can lock the door. But yeah, anyhow, enough of that. Hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully it sort of inspired you to use up a spare room that you've got in order to create your own art and craft room or studio, whatever you want to call it, so where you can be creative. Yeah, and hopefully Rocky won't be talking too much in the videos. I mean, he's being pretty quiet at the moment, so he's busy chewing up his perch, which we're going to need to replace. But yeah, you probably end up getting a good laugh out of him. Trust me, he likes playing peekaboo, you name it. So anyhow, hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you get notified every time I make a new video. Well, when I load it up. And I will see you guys next Friday at 10 o'clock Perth time, just to make sure that everybody knows it's Perth time that the videos go up. So hope you have an awesome weekend and a fantastic week, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye for now.